everyone, today I'll be reviewing this movie. It is on Netflix. It's called Night of Zodiac, and this movie it is starring Sean Bean, Famke Janssen, and Mackenyu. And I had no idea what this movie was about. But when I saw this movie was starring Sean Bean, I thought, why don't I check this out? So after watching this movie, when I go to online, I see this movie is actually quite hated by the critic and almost like audience also. A lot of people are really disappointed in this movie because it didn't live up to the manga adaptation this movie it is based on. So this movie has, like, I guess because it's based on very like popular manga and everything I heard about it, so it did had a lot to live up to people's expectation. And this movie did cost $60 million to make, although it was box office flop. But after watching this movie, what do I think about it? In this movie, you see when a goddess of war reincarnates in the body of a young girl, a street orphan Saya discovered that he is destined to protect her, save the world, but only if he can face his own past and become the Knight of Zodiac. So this movie, honestly, it is just okay, something you can watch it on Netflix for free. It is kind of that kind of movie. It is from Sony Studio, and most of the movie from Sony's are not that good, let's be honest. However, I thought the lead actor in this movie, Sean Bean, and the other, all the acting in this movie was good. I did like the all the characters are, although they never live up to their potential in this movie, unfortunately. Especially a story it is based on, and some of the action scene. While this movie it is quite impressive, but sometimes some of the action scene with the way this movie was edited, it is really takes you out of the scene. You are like, wow, it's not very cohesive, this movie. That is the problem with it. Also, the story it is trying to tell here, it is interesting, but it doesn't focuses on its interesting part. It just focuses on a surface level. That is the problem with this movie. And once this guy he gets picked up by Sean Bean, this movie did dramatically became very slow. That means that, as I said, this movie is a $60 million budget. So obviously this movie does have like a lot of money. But unfortunately this movie, it does looks really cheap when you watch it. I was like, I really thought this is probably the budget is 30 million or something. But turns out it's not. As I said, maybe because of the budget is not 100 million, that is why this movie looks cheap than it is, I guess. So overall, I thought this movie it was okay. I did enjoy the characters are and the story itself because I didn't know anything about it. I thought it was interesting, and it is based on a manga. So I guess this kind of movie is always hard to make. That being said, I really did not like every time this guy, he had this childhood memory, and the backflash scene in this movie, I really didn't like, honestly. 1 or 2 times is okay. It's just he was getting too much flashback. I was like, whoa, it's too much. It took me out of couple of scenes. And the villain for this movies are okay, I guess. But overall, honestly, this movie did had some cool action scene that I was really enjoying it. I thought they were quite impressive. It's not though impressive enough to save this movie. That is why you can see this movie review sitting so low. Because overall it isn't very well made movie. But when I read some of the audience, their opinion, because this is based on a manga, people are really upset that it didn't focus on what it's based on. So I do understand their frustration with this movie. But overall, this movie is not that bad, I thought. Overall, I thought it was somewhat interesting. The actor, he really tried his best, the acting, and because it does have some cool side characters. There's the costumes are really interesting in this movie. So yeah, overall this movie it isn't as good as it could have been. Then again, this is not a very high budget movie. This kind of concept is hard to do, and this is kind of felt like it's MCU version of this manga when I was watching it. So yeah, overall, I still thought it was okay. Like this is one of those movies. Like this is like a 5 out of 2 star type movie. You know, it's not 1 star, but it's not 3 star either. It's kind of like a okay movie. And that was my thought on this. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this movie. If you enjoyed my this review, don't watch other reviews on other movies. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time. Please take